Hey there, everybody. Coach Kelly here from Zen Planner, and I am with Kim Robbins from Core Wisdom out in Boulder, Colorado. Kim, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today. We are excited to talk to you about what you do and some of your best business practices. We've got lots of green newbies who are using Zen Planner, and then we've got veterans who always just like to get more information from a peer. So, tell us about Core Wisdom and about yourself and what you guys do.
Well, I am a Pilates studio. Core Wisdom is a Pilates studio. It's pretty much just me here. I am Core Wisdom, I like to say. And this is my 20th year in business, or August will be 20 years. I Yeah, it's awesome. I work mostly with people in pain. I do have classes. I do a lot of one-on-ones. I probably have about 20 classes on the schedule, and then about 20 hours of privates a week as well. But which is why Zen Planner is awesome, because it's my personal. It's my front desk. I mean, that.
Yeah.
So because it is me.
So 20 years solo. That's unbelievable because I've been in the fitness and also yoga industry for a long time, and that's a you're like a jack of all trades as far as what you're managing, because it's really different being the instructor and also being the owner. So two different hats. Tell me how you manage that, and you mentioned Zen Planner, how that software helps you manage those day-to-day tasks, and how long have you been with Zen Planner?
I think, gosh, I don't remember when I talked with Savannah. I started in 2016, maybe, with
Okay.
Zen Planner. Um, and how do I manage? I'm not so sure I manage all the time, but um, so I mean, I'm a Capricorn. I like routine, so I just pretty much have my schedule's relatively set. I just know on this day I come in early and that's when I vacuum, and this is the day I take out the trash, and this is the day I do water the plants. But just recently I did a call. I don't remember the guy's name, with Zen Planner, and he helped me set up, like, what I like doing for my clients is knowing those special mile marks of, like, I just had a lady celebrate her year anniversary with me. I always send people cards. Sometimes it's a t-shirt or a water bottle or something, they get something for that year mark. But also, just like, I don't have time to go in and do a search and find the report, but he set up, like, and we have it in this custom report section. I just go look at it every Monday morning and know, okay, this person's year anniversary is happening on this day. This person's 100th class is this day. And I just, I have a sticky, or what was a whiteboard
Yeah.
up above me, and I just write that up there to help myself remember to do that stuff. But those reports have been really helpful.
I love that you're
Um,
saying that. I mean, I think because you're quite the veteran. So the reporting aspect of Zen Planner is probably the most robust out there. I've utilized a bunch of different management systems, and I'm going to ask you about that too. I think the reporting part of any member management software can be really daunting and overwhelming for new business owners.
mhm.
They're just trying to, like, keep their head above water, right? But when you think about the importance of the member experience, that's where you're really utilizing the reports, is making sure that you don't forget about those people who have been with you for a long time, so that you can keep them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what makes it special. I mean, these people, I mean, these people are my family. I have about 80-ish clients that are currently, like, on the books all the time. And, I know their grandchildren's names. I know how long they've been with me, because their granddaughter's 12 and they started before they had a granddaughter. I mean, like, these things about those people, and it's that stuff that makes it special. I like knowing when people's birthdays are. So at the beginning of the month, on my dashboard, it tells me whose birthdays are this month. I write them on my whiteboard, and the birthday boa comes out on their birthday. It hangs on their piece of Pilates equipment, and everyone knows. It's like when they come in their birthday, but they're like, ah, shit, she knows. It's my birthday. I didn't want anyone to know. But, but like, it's those things that do make it, it's special. And that's what I think, it's not why the only reason they come back, but they feel very part of the community. So yeah, for
I
sure.
love that. Have you used any other platforms besides ZP or ZP it?
I used MindBody for a short bit. It's like been so long that I don't even remember. All I remember is just the price kept going up, and I'm located in Boulder. Zen Planner's based out of Denver. Their payment processors based out of Denver. I like to keep my money as close as I can to home, so it was an easy sell. Plus, by far, what do you call it when you call in for support? Like
Uh, yeah,
that that is the biggest sell point for me for Zen Planner. Like, I'm never on hold longer than maybe 2 minutes, and I mean, it just gets done. I know it's not going to be a half-hour call. You guys like bust it out. You help me out. Sometimes I'm like, can you just do it for me really, please? And then they send me a little link to what all they did. And then I can go back and make notes and try to remember. But my one big thing with when I was relatively early in Zen Planner, way before COVID, I was at the Lafayette Dog Park and I saw someone with a Zen Planner shirt on. I'm like, oh, hey, do you use Zen Planner too? And they're like, no, I actually work for them. And I'm like, oh, really? I was going to be calling today. He's like, what's your question? He answered my question at the dog park. Like, I mean, that's who you guys hire at Zen Planner, right? So
I
that,
really
and yeah, I love that. And then I was going to be switching to memberships, which I don't use. I just have punch cards. That's what my client base is okay with. The word membership freaks people out, which they just keep buying punch cards. So it's like a membership, but let's not tell them that.
yeah.
But I went down, I had like 31 questions. I'm like, guys, I have all these questions. Can I come to the office? They put me up in a room with, another staff member, and we answered every single question. They even brought me lunch. I mean, like,
I love that.
that says like that means something to me.
Well, I think that there's a lot of us come from the same background as you guys. We are either gym owners or yoga studio owners or Pilates studio owners, and so um, understanding like customer first, like you put
Yeah, yeah.
customer first. It's we kind of have you in mind, so we get that. Did you I like hearing about the customer service and the customer support, because I think that when it comes to like software in general, it can be confusing. It can be glitchy sometimes. Like there's all kinds of pain points as you are learning the software, especially switching from a MindBody, which functions a little differently than Zen Planner.
Mhm.
Was that you said that you decided to switch because it was kind of like home, and obviously the pricing was going up with MindBody. Did you find that the process of switching was easy? And how was that for you?
Yeah, and it was just me. Like, I didn't like, it's just in the last, I would say, 2 years that my clients are using Zen Planner. In fact, just last month I sent out an email, like, guys, you need to get this app. I'm tired of signing you up for classes. I'm getting busy enough now where it's not fair for me to go in 3 weeks in advance and hog space. Like, it's a first come, first serve. If you can't sign yourself up, that's not my problem, kind of thing. So I'm getting to that place of wanting people to just take that over. My average age client is probably between 65 and 75. So a lot of them, I'm getting a lot of pushback. It's just something the Android users aren't real fond of it for whatever reason. But we're getting there. But when I first switched, it was just me. I was just using it to keep like track of the schedule, track of the punch cards, and payment processing. People didn't have to bring me checks, that kind of thing. And I mean, I still do a lot of that. I actually just maybe 3-4 years ago got people to use auto pay. I mean, like, I mean, I won't run their card. They're like, oh yeah, run my card. And if I don't do it right then, I'm not going to run their card 2 days later. I'm going to ask permission again before then it just becomes like, I'm sorry, you're on punch number 8 out of 10. I got to run your card and then run it again.
Yeah.
So auto pay is helpful, but I use probably mostly just payment processing and keeping track of punches, and obviously schedule. Now with the class schedule, that's getting utilized a lot more. I don't let people book for privates online because I like having more control over my schedule.
Right.
Um,
That
but yeah,
I I was going to ask you. You answered that my question. What features inside of Zen Planner are the most beneficial for you specifically? Because everybody has something different that they really need or really want to utilize. And so, being a one woman show, for sure, having the ability to schedule, the ability to put the auto pay. You don't realize how easy it can be until you have something like that, right? I even taking credit cards when I opened my first gym 15 years ago. I like collected $10 in cash in like a box every night. There were no credit cards. There was no credit card option. So we've this industry has come a long way as far as what we can do as small business owners and what you can do. I imagined from when you opened the doors 20 years ago to now, the shift has been,
oh, for sure. I
yeah,
mean, how many times have you heard, oh, I left my checkbook at home? It's like, now I don't have to hear that. It's just like, oh, your card's on file. I'll just run it. Like that's amazing. I mean, credit card fees are, but I figure that, it works out fine. I mean, it's just the nature of
yeah,
it. So you eat it and you move on. I don't pass that on to my clients yet.
no, yeah, no, I know. I think for many of the small gyms and studios that I see, it's like large purchases too, especially personal training. Do you offer personal training packages?
Well, one-on-one privates. Yeah. I mean, my 10 pack is 1050.
Yeah. So most people aren't carrying that kind of cash around. And again, like checks are kind of obsolete. There's not many people that are using them. So
And they're using their credit cards for miles. They're using,
yeah,
I mean, that stuff. I mean, if you really, and I haven't looked at it, I don't want to know this stuff, but like American Express and that kind of stuff, I'm sure, their interest, or not the interest rate, but the ding I get charged on that fee is different, which isn't you guys, it's Pay Simple. So, which I get, that's the thing. And I could always say I don't take, American Express, but like that's what people want to do. I mean, and they just, pay off their card at the month or whatever they do. And it's not my business, but
yeah.
yeah.
How are there features that are not inside of Zen Planner that you think that you would be able to utilize or that would be helpful? That's a hard question. I should have given it.
Yeah, that's okay. I would say, like I'm not very good at doing like sending out a newsletter, and I have Zen Planner connected with my MailChimp, and then I go over and do that. I
Mhm.
mean, people get their email reminders for private sessions. I don't do it for classes because so many people come to 4 classes a week and they're sick of getting emails, so I just took that off. And if you're signing yourself up, you know when you're coming, or you can look at your app and see when you're coming. Um, but I guess if I could do something more, like if I didn't have to go over to Zen Plan, or not Zen Planner, to MailChimp, or I mean, it's really not that hard, and I just don't do it that often.
Well, that is actually why we launched the marketing automation platform side of Zen Planner. So you're well accustomed with Studio, and so now we have engagement where we incorporate all of those things because that's what we were seeing. Like people were using all these different pieces of software and platforms, and it gets confusing and it's a lot. And while for you, you're like, well, I can just go over to MailChimp. We house it all together so Studio and engagement speak to each other, and you can run email campaigns and you can do all kinds of really neat experiential type things for your members if you want to dive deep into that into that. It just depends on again how many emails you're sending out and what kinds of campaigns you're running.
Yeah, I don't send out very often.
Did you uh I know it was a long time ago when you made the switch to Zen Planner, and you started really harnessing that software. Did you see a shift in your membership? Did you see changes in membership or numbers, retention, anything like that, as far as using software automations?
I got to see it myself. I mean, when I started with Zen Planner, and I did this like coaching program, business coaching thing, which was a total waste of my money. But anyway, I learned some things, and she was like, "How many clients do you have?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like 40." And I had like 20, and now I have like 80. So I mean, I don't know that this like using Zen Planner has made that like that part hasn't done it, but I like being able to see. how many new clients I've gotten every month. My retention rate is very, very high, but people don't come to me unless they need it and they're referred. I'm next door to a PT clinic, so I get a lot of referrals from them. So people that come and see me, it's rare that it's rare if they don't know if they want to continue. So
Sure.
most people that walk through my door are going to stay.
Yeah.
How long is another thing, but for the most part, people stay for years.
And
So
that's where that reporting is really cool. I had a conversation with another um he's a gym owner, but he uses the reporting to look at that churn and to see like, okay, so it used to be like the churn would happen at 8 or 9 months. And so what's happening at 8 or 9 months and how can we change that? And now it's 15 or 16 months. And so looking at those trends in your own churn inside of your facility, inside of the reporting can help you make the decisions that you need to make as a business owner.
yeah, I mean, that would be something to look at. I just also don't have the time. Or, I'm getting to this place now where I'm so busy. I'm on the floor so much that when I'm done there, I want to leave this studio. I want out. I want to go home. I want to enjoy my garden. I need to walk the dog, maybe eat some food, right? Kind of thing. So I don't necessarily take the time and sit and really look through what is available to me, but I did write down a note for the studio thing, and then, but just like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably using Zen Planner fairly bare minimum, which
Works for you. It works.
it works. I mean, it's exactly what I need. I'm actually thinking about getting an iPad so I can put it out and use the kiosk app, because then maybe that'll help people who didn't want to download the app and do it themselves. Then they can put themselves in for the next week kind of thing and just make it a little bit easier that way. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to know, you've been in business 20 years, you're a one woman show, you're coaching all the time and you're instructing all the time and you're running your business. What are your future plans? And where do you see Core Wisdom or do you see it growing? Do you see it expanding? Um, Curious.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to a place where I can't, if you want in for a private session, you're going to have to wait a week or two. So I do have one lady who teaches for me, but she's here 2 hours a week. Um, I, I think I did have someone work for me for 2 years, and I gave a percentage split, which I think was too much for my business, and not keeping track of like how many people were really coming into the class and how much my nut was and what I was losing on that. So it's hard for me to want to bring another person in,
Right.
but I don't necessarily want to get bigger. I can take 7 people in a class on equipment, and with 7 people with a hip and a knee and a back surgery, like I don't really need more than that. I could probably do it, but I think their comfort level is that. It would be nice to have. I've got about 1,400 square feet, and which is probably the largest in Boulder anyway. But like to be able to have 2 classes at once if it were just a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
But then again, it's hard to find it's personality. Like
Oh,
skill
yeah.
you can get. It's the personality that my client base is used to or wanting. Like you got to be able to crack a joke every once in a while, and I don't know. It's just a really hard mix to find. So
I
for
hear you.
me, I think it's just all work, and it's just me. I don't know. It's me until I can't handle it, and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Do you, well, I think that staff development is very difficult. I would say that's one of the number one things that studio and gym owners say is the hardest part is bringing in staff that cares about your business that you do. And
Absolutely.
yeah, but luckily we have member management that works for you so that you don't have to do it with pencil and paper. Do you have any advice for new gym owners, new studio owners considering either opening their doors or maybe even thinking about moving to Zen Planner if they're somewhere else?
Hmm. Well, I would say the best thing there's a lot of best things about Zen Planner, but one of the best things about Zen Planner is when you're getting started and you have questions, support is amazing. Like you're going to be on hold forever with the other people. Like they're not, sorry, it's just not going to be worth your time.
Yeah.
So like it's so good. It can't be beat for sure in that respect. for people. So I don't know, go for it. If you're thinking about doing it, go for it. I basically was, I won't say kicked out of my job. It was a weird situation leaving a studio, and then I was sort of just forced to do it. And I
Right.
thought I had maybe 5 people that would follow me, and I had like 3. So, I mean, it was a rough start. Market crash, right? COVID, we did it. Um,
Yeah.
you can make it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a grind for sure. I very much recall like sleeping on a mattress on the floor of my first gym when we were renovating and like just being coaching all the classes, like
Yeah.
you, every class morning to night, and you just kind of live and breathe it, and hopefully you get over that hump, right? And you get to the other side of where like you're in a position where like I can't take anybody else. I have no more spots. So that's pretty cool. And I'm really very grateful that we can kind of help help you do that and at least assist you so we make it a little bit
Oh, yeah.
easier.
I mean, I don't have to do like you take several hours off of my work week by having, the schedule where people can sign up. I mean, even just, a month ago when I sent out the email, guys, get the app, sign yourselves up. I mean, I'm spending 2 hours a week just putting everyone down who doesn't use the app and like, oh, you're out of town. So then I gotta, are you out of town? I don't have to do that. Like yeah, they're
Yeah,
big boys and girls. They can do that.
I like that. I like that. Do you have any closing comments, anything else as far as words of wisdom? I think you probably have so many pearls of wisdom for small business owners in general.
I don't know. I just like go for it, like stick with it. It's not easy. I was in the black or sorry, in the red for a lot of years, a
Mhm.
lot of years. And it's just like, why am I doing this? And every time I would be like, I'm going to supplement my income by working at Starbucks or doing this, then I'd get a rush of people, right?
Yeah,
Universe just shows you that stuff. If you have a dead day, the universe is giving you a day off. Take it. It's okay. Don't stress, right?
I
You'll
love.
be busy other days. Like just let it, you just ride the wave.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing, and hopefully we can connect again, and we can chat more about Zen Planner, about what you're doing, about Pilates in general, and just specific to maybe the Pilates community if you would like that.
Absolutely. I could talk all day about Pilates.
I, hey, I've done.
We talk about Pilates all day.
Ooh, I that it crushes me. It's in a good way, like just so it's so good.
Yeah.
It really is. So thank you for what you do. I appreciate you and
Thank
your time. Thank you.
you.